May I wish this ship and all who sail in her and all the scientists who research on board bon voyage on its forthcoming voyage to the Antarctic.
The event is a pre-COP event centred around our ship and an exhibition at the Maritime Museum, a celebration of BASS, of our science, of the new polar vessel for Britain at a time when the kind of science that BASS does is at the forefront of people's minds with COP happening in Glasgow. One of the challenges with putting on an exhibition of this scale, and especially when you start looking at the audiences that we want to talk to, the people we want to engage, the storytelling that we want to do, is how do we do that? And as a small team, we were on the limits of what we could do doing a traditional exhibition.
When Camel first won the contract to build the Sir David Attenborough for the British Antarctic Survey, we, like everybody on the Wirral, were very excited and looked for every opportunity to get involved.
High Impact's relationship with BASS began with us producing a virtual tour of the vessel during its construction at Camel. As we'd regularly visit the site to make updates to the tour, our relationship with BASS slowly grew and developed. Naturally, we began looking forward to the big launch event later that year and the ways in which High Impact can help engage the public.
As with so many of our clients, the one thing that British Antarctic Survey really appreciated was the fact that we bring so many different facets to the project, from presenting and interviewing people in front of the camera to expert videography and photography behind the camera. And of course, the live streaming that we can do means that, live vision mixing high quality content to a global audience in real time is no problem for High Impact.
I think quite early on in the relationship with High Impact and BASS, it was quite clear that the people there understood what we were trying to achieve and actually gave us options and gave us ideas and things that were beyond our original aspirations, purely because they'd got an experience in a kind of world, in a sphere that we don't normally work in.
With the support of Alan and Simon, our innovation manager, I was responsible for live streaming the event around the globe. Within this stream, we broadcast and produced a live guided tour of the ship, featuring interviews with key members of the crew and mixed this with pre-recorded content from the National Maritime Museum.
Interestingly, with this project, they also chose to tap into our education expertise. With teachers on the staff and with a heritage in education, they really enjoyed the fact that we understand how people learn.
But key to this actually was seeing the technology that they use and the combination of that technology and the amazing storytelling capabilities. So it's that kind of educational background that gives us really clear and crisp storytelling, and that was really important.
And I think people really enjoyed the content that we created with that hat on as educators as well as media professionals.
The amazing thing about the content we get to create is there's always a different story to be told. It doesn't matter whether you're a restaurant, a hotel, a football club, or an icebreaker in the Antarctic. There's always a story to be told, and we help to share that story with the world.
Whenever we ask at High Impact for references and we ask, how did you think the project went, it keeps coming up, it felt like the High Impact staff were part of our staff. And that is absolutely critical to the success of every project.
It's interesting, it's not often you work with a team that you start with as two totally separate organisations with different skill sets, and by the end of it, it was almost like we were one group, we were one team, and High Impact integrated on the ship with our scientists and especially with our comms team to help us deliver what was just an amazing few days. Just increased our audience by an order of magnitude more than we could ever get through the doors.
I think in your career you have these moments where you just think this is a defining moment, this is really special, and we seem to have so many of those with this project, whether it was the Royals launching the vessel up the road at Camel from our offices, or whether it was on the banks of the Thames with hundreds of people there to see Sir David Attenborough and other people on the vessel. But it just seemed to keep on giving, this project, and we were proud of it every single step of the way. And to be stood on this incredible vessel interviewing Sir David Attenborough himself, and being with such a fabulous crew and watching the boat as it set sail on its maiden voyage, it was just so many special moments.
We'd love to continue working with High Impact. During the period of the event itself, the team from High Impact that came down, that were working on the ship and were working in the exhibition, were fantastic. They were totally flexible, they were enthusiastic, they worked crazy hours to try and deliver something and make it special, and it really was very special in the end.